In the event of an emergency evacuation, please follow these guidelines. If you are seated in the lower rows of level 100, please walk down the stairs to the floor, proceed through the nearest portal, and exit the building. For the upper rows of level 100, walk up the stairs to the concourse and exit through the nearest doors. Those seated in 200, 300, or loge seating, walk downstairs to the concourse to exit through the nearest doors. Elevators will not be in service, but event staff will be available to guide and assist you.
Good evening and welcome to today's commencement exercises. If you are able, please stand for the academic procession. The procession includes the class, graduates of the College of Communication and Information, class of 2024, and faculty representatives led by Dr. Shannon Scoville, assistant professor in the School of Journalism and Media, who carries the academic banner. University of Tennessee Knoxville Chancellor Don D. Plowman and Dean Joseph Mazer will lead the commencement stage party that includes today's guest speaker, Chris Grabenstein, and members of the college administration. We will begin today's ceremony with the singing of our national anthem. Please remain standing as you are able as we begin today's ceremonies and begin the national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your caps and join Molly Garrett in singing the Star-Spangled Banner. Molly Garrett is accompanied by Matt Roten, Brooklyn Crabtree, Sean Keenan, and Ben Strobel. At this time, I have the honor of introducing Dr. Joseph Mazer, Dean of the College of Communication and Information. Please join me in welcoming Dean Mazer to the podium.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Well, good evening, everyone. It's graduation time in Tennessee. How's everybody doing? Please be seated. Please be seated. Today, my friends, today marks a significant milestone in the lives of our students. We are thrilled to celebrate them today, and we hope that this occasion becomes a cherished memory for all in attendance. As a reminder, commencement is a formal ceremony, and we request that all attendees remain respectful. We also ask that everyone remain in the arena until the ceremony officially concludes so that every graduate can fully enjoy the event without disruption. I want to begin by recognizing our graduates here today. I'm really proud of each and every one of you. They deserve a big, loud round of applause, don't they? On behalf of the faculty and staff of the college, I want to welcome our graduates, their families, and friends and guests as we celebrate the class of 2024. I'd like to begin by introducing the stage party, and I ask that each individual stand and remain standing until the entire party has been introduced. Seated to my right, Dr. Dondi Plowman, Chancellor, University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Dr. Colin Piazentine, Assistant Professor of Practice in the Tombra School of Advertising and Public Relations. Dr. Courtney Childers, Interim Director, School of Journalism and Media. Dr. Susie Allard, Associate Dean for Research. And Dr. Virginia Kupritz, Associate Dean for Graduate Programs. Seated to my left, Chris Grabenstein, our commencement speaker. Dr. Beth Foster, Director of the Tombra School of Advertising and Public Relations. Dr. Ababa Arisa, Director of the School of Information Sciences. Dr. John Hess, Director of the School of Communication Studies. Dr. Julie Longmire, Assistant Dean for Undergraduate Programs and Advising. And Dr. Shannon Scoville, Assistant Professor in the School of Journalism and Media. Thank you all for your dedication to our students and our university. You all may be seated. This is truly a very special day for our graduates, indeed an extra special day. As we gather tonight, I'm reminded of a conversation I had not too long ago during the college's Spring Board of Visitors reception. I was chatting with several of our graduates who are here tonight about how excited they were for their upcoming graduation, and I shared in their enthusiasm. After all, this is the biggest event of the entire year on the biggest stage. All eyes are on our students this week. And they said, "Joe, I don't think you quite understand just how much this means to us. You see, we graduated high school in the spring of 2020. We never had the chance to experience a real graduation ceremony. Now, most of you began your undergraduate journey during the pandemic, which, audience, that means this arena is full of brave, resilient, dedicated, optimistic, and determined graduates who, facing unprecedented challenges, kept going. You looked up and ahead with the kind of hope and ambition that tell us you are true volunteers, and that today is only the beginning of what you'll accomplish. It certainly wasn't the start to your college journey that anyone expected or hoped for. And while we're now so grateful to be able to gather again once more and provide the best college experience for which the University of Tennessee has been long known for, we acknowledge that your journey came with significant and personal challenges, and we are so proud of each of you for rising to meet them. And I assure you that facing unusual circumstances is often what helps build extraordinary leaders. In just a moment, you'll hear from an extraordinary leader, Chris Grabenstein, our commencement speaker. Soon after Chris graduated from UT, he packed up 7 suitcases, a typewriter, and his life savings, $1,000 to be exact, and bought a one-way ticket to New York City, where he didn't have a job or any prospects for a job. He has had an extraordinary career. You'll hear from him in a moment. So now let's begin tonight and ensure that your graduation is not just an event, but a cherished memory you'll carry with you forever. Audience, I think our graduates deserve a really loud round of applause. Indeed, graduation, one of the most special days in the life of a university, and graduates, it's a memory that each of you will take with you throughout your life with pride and honor. Today is a day where we celebrate your hard work, your dedication, and your achievements, and get to imagine all the future possibilities that lie ahead of each of you. Not only is today about our graduates, it's also a time for us to recognize those who have paved the way, stood by your side, were your biggest fans, all to help you get to this moment. Your family and friends who are with us today. So to all the moms and dads, spouses, grandparents, siblings, children, aunts and uncles, and friends who are with us today, you honor us with your presence as we celebrate our graduates today. I think they deserve a big round of applause as well. I also want to give a warm welcome to any alumni of the University of Tennessee who are with us today. If you're a graduate of this great university, will you please stand so we can welcome you back home to Rocky Top? Next, I would like to recognize and thank our dedicated faculty and staff whose commitment to excellence in teaching, research, and service help to ensure your success at UT. If you are faculty or staff of this great college, will you please stand to be recognized? And now I have the great pleasure of introducing our commencement speaker, UT and College of Communication and Information alum and New York Times best-selling author Chris Grabenstein. A true volunteer legend, Chris is a multiple award-winning, #1 New York Times best-selling author of children's books, Lemoncello, Wonderland, Haunted Mystery, Smartest Kid, and Dog Squad series. He co-authored the acclaimed Shine with his wife J.J. Grabenstein, who's also here with us today, as well as nearly 36 fast-paced and funny page-turners with James Patterson, including the iFunny, Jackie Haha, Treasure Hunters, and Max Einstein series. His escape from Mr. Lemoncello's library has been nominated for 44 Children's Choice State Book Awards, has over 1 million copies in print, and has been translated into 22 foreign languages. Prior to making the New York Times bestseller list, Chris wrote for Jim Henson's Muppets and co-wrote the TV movie The Christmas Gift, which starred musician John Denver. Chris also spent almost 2 decades writing radio and television advertisements for brands such as KFC, Dr. Pepper, 7-Up, and many others. In 2001, Chris quit his job as executive at one of the world's largest advertising agencies. He spent the next 4 years having everything he wrote rejected by publishers, producers, and even strangers he met on the street. But in 2005, his first books were published. They were mystery books for adults. And when given a chance, he rewrote one of his rejected manuscripts, The Crossroads, and turned it into a ghost story for younger readers. He had so much fun, so he kept on writing for kids. Now he's had over 6 dozen different books published. Chris is a Chattanooga native. While attending UT, he acted in over 50 different stage productions and contributed to the Daily Beacon as an editor, columnist, and cartoonist. It was this experience that propelled him to a stellar professional career. Chris also took up stand-up comedy early in his career, from his early days entertaining his family to his journey to New York City, where he honed his comedy craft alongside comedy legends like Bruce Willis and the late Robin Williams. His storytelling abilities have always shined bright, just as he has continued to carry his torch for the next generation of UT students. In addition to his professional accomplishments, Chris is a philanthropist whose generosity knows no bounds. He has contributed to the College of Communication and Information by establishing multiple scholarship funds for advertising and library science students, and is an emeritus member of the college's Board of Visitors. He received the UT Accomplished Alumni Award in 2009. In 2018, he was named a Distinguished Alumnus Award winner, and in 2023, he received CCI's Donald G. Heilman Distinguished Alumni Award, the college's top alumni honor. So, will you please join me in welcoming back home to Rocky Top CCI alum, New York Times best-selling author, Chris Grabenstein.
My life was flashing in front of my eyes as you went down that. Thank you, Dean Mazur. Thank you all. And a special congratulations to you guys. I understand this is like your first graduation with the pomp and the circumstance, and you're doing it very well. Give yourself a round of applause. And when we get to the hat tossing part at the end of the show, maybe throw your hat up twice to make up for that high school graduation. It is an honor for me to be back home on Rocky Top and to once again be wearing a rented robe and a funny hat. I was trying to get the Chef Boyardee look, maybe the French guy. You know, a lot of people took to wearing sweatpants during the pandemic. I went with the academic robe. Very roomy, lots of air here, don't have to wear pants underneath it. Makes you look like the Statue of Liberty's smarter cousin. First of all, I want to say congratulations to all of you once again, students, faculty, parents, siblings. This is a big accomplishment. Students, you guys are about to become college graduates. Do you know what that means? You're going to have to check that box on every single form you fill out for the rest of your life. These past years could not have been easy. No one during my time at UT had to endure a global pandemic on top of final exams and those hikes up the hill to Ayers Hall. We never had to go to virtual lecture halls. Then again, we never had those nifty little Grubhub robots delivering hot sandwiches and pizzas to our dorm rooms. By the way, I now live in New York City. Those little robots, they wouldn't last 10 seconds on the sidewalks. Forget about it. Faculty, congratulations. You have imparted the wisdom of New York Times versus Sullivan and have how to make a viral video without a single Kardashian to our next generation of communicators. And I found out that because I have 3 stripes on here, I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor for a night until I have to turn this back into Hogwarts. Proud parents, congratulations. In a way, you graduate today too, and wow, you never had to go to a single class. So way to go on that. Yes, today marks the commencement of a new era for all of you, hopefully one where you don't have to do 2 months worth of laundry when your child comes home for the weekend to hang out with his high school friends. One day, parents, it may not be soon, but trust me, it will happen. You will experience the biggest post-graduation miracle of them all. You'll go out to lunch or maybe dinner with your son or daughter, and their voice choked with pride, they will look you in the eye and say, "Mom, Dad, I've got this." Yes, they will actually pay for a meal, and they will not use your credit card. It'll happen. It'll happen. Brothers and sisters, congratulations to you guys too. You have endured 4, maybe even more years of your siblings coming home knowing the answers to everything, even stuff you never wanted to know about. Who knew you could be so wrong about so much? Now, I graduated from the College of Communications back in 1977. Yes, I'm so old, Davy Crockett was in my class. I think he became a play-by-play announcer later on. I don't remember much about my own graduation ceremony, so I suspect the world will little note nor long remember what I say here today. And yes, I cribbed that from Abraham Lincoln. He wasn't in my class. I think he went to the University of Illinois. But I have wondered what wisdom I might impart today, what words I might offer to send you guys on your way. especially to you who are entering a world where communication and sharing information are so vital and yet so vilified. I remember when fake news was a fun way to describe The Daily Show starring Jon Stewart. It wasn't used to belittle journalists struggling to report the truth. The enemies of the people were not the news reporters on TV. I think they were a grunge band out of Seattle. I grew up with Walter Cronkite telling us, "That's the way it is," every night at 6:30 p.m., and everybody knew that whatever Uncle Walter said was true. Okay, advertising the vineyard where I toiled for 17 years was always a little sketchy, a little suspect. When I was here at college, I remember in advertising, we read one book called Subliminal Seduction, all about the naked ladies painted into the ice cubes of high-end whiskey. And when I first got my job at J. Walter Thompson, I asked for a tour of the ice cube painting studio. There wasn't one. I also learned that a well-researched product, truth, sold better than a puffed-up lie. That's why you should never put marbles in the bottom of a soup bowl to make so all the good stuff floats up to the top to make your soup look chunkier. When it isn't, the consumer will never buy your thin gruel again. Like they say, good advertising can sell a bad product once. But it's rough today for all the communications fields. Advertising, journalism, electronic media, public relations, broadcasting. Why, these days, even the library sciences. The library sciences. Mr. Limoncello is weeping. They're under attack with book bans sweeping the nation. Sorry, guys, the world has never been harder or harsher than it is right now on those who have chosen a communications career dedicated to telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And we've never needed you more. So what advice can I give to you who are about to leave this world and step into the next? The one where you will live for the rest of your life. The one with rent and probably roommates. Well, to quote Willy Wonka's mother, she's in the movie, not the book, every good thing in this world started with a dream. My mother's wise words were, "Christopher, did you make your bed?" Actually, my mother was the one who encouraged me to go ahead and move to New York City 2 years after I graduated college. I think she was tired of me bringing all that laundry home to Chattanooga. She also knew I had a dream, and it involved moving to the big city. She told me if I didn't go ahead and do it, I might regret it for the rest of my life. She gave me permission to say yes, to take a risk, to follow my dream like I hope all of you will follow your dreams. Not too long ago, I met a soon-to-graduate college senior. When I asked her what was next, she told me she was, and I quote, navigating my pathway. Navigating my pathway. She was like Captain Kirk or the Mandalorian, laying in a course to reach some distant, predetermined star coordinates. I, on the other hand, worked on the Clarence Brown Theater for a couple of years after graduation, then with Mom's encouragement, packed up those 7 suitcases, a typewriter in my life savings, the $1,000, and bought a one-way ticket to New York City where I didn't have a job or any prospects for a job. I did have a friend from UT who had already made the move, and he had a couch where I could sleep for 2 weeks. But I did, as I say, have a dream. I wanted to be a comedian or a writer or a TV anchor person or a reporter for the New York Times. No, that would be too serious. A reporter for Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live. My pathway was more like the silver ball in a pinball machine. I didn't navigate it, it navigated me. Fortunately, back in the day, before computers and compulsory keyboard capability, we had to take a typing test at the College of Communications before we could advance to any sophomore level courses. So for the next 3 years, our assignments had to be typed, handwriting was out. So when I graduated, I could type 90, maybe 100 words a minute. And that's how I made my money when I first arrived in the Big Apple. I was a temporary secretary at Citibank. Dean Mazur forgot to mention that when going over my resume. But soon, within a couple months of my move, I started doing improvisational comedy with a troupe down in a dank basement in Greenwich Village. Yes, Bruce Willis was in my troupe before he shaved his head and became Bruce Willis. And the late Robin Williams, who loved doing improv, would join us on the stage whenever he was in town shooting a movie. Now, when you do improv, there is only one rule, And everybody who does it knows that rule. That's how you can do a whole show with Robin Williams 10 seconds after meeting that guy. That rule, I have realized, is what's guided me ever since I left Knoxville. What has helped me navigate my pathway from a temporary secretary to writing for the Muppets and creating a made-for-TV movie starring John Denver, to becoming an executive vice president, group creative director at Young and Rubicam, to quitting that job, and after 4 years of constant rejections from all the best publishers, becoming a New York Times bestselling author of 6 dozen books, and finally, the ultimate achievement, becoming a commencement speaker at my alma mater. It is, yeah. Thank you. And that rule is, some of you who have spent as much time in the theater as I did when I was here probably already know it. And it is the advice, if not wisdom, I will leave you with today. Always say yes and. Say yes, then move things forward. Tina Fey, a fellow improviser, describes it this way. If I start a scene with, wow, it's hot in here, and you say, no, I'm freezing, you have denied everything I set up, the scene dies. If we get nowhere, if I say, wow, it's hot in here, and you say, yes, it certainly is hot in here, well, at least you did not deny what I said, we're in agreement, but the scene hasn't moved forward. But if I say, wow, it's hot in here, and you say, I told you we shouldn't have climbed inside this dog's mouth, now, we are somewhere neither one of us could have predicted. An improvised life is full of glorious surprises, some bad, most good. You say yes to moving to New York City and you don't get mugged the first time you set foot in Central Park. You say yes to a writing aptitude test designed by the creative director of J. Walter Thompson Advertising, and you land a job as a junior copywriter. And then that creative director, whose name is James Patterson, grows up to become the #1 best-selling author in the history of #1 best-selling authors. A decade or so later, you start writing books together and you say yes so many times, you end up writing 3 dozen books for kids with Mr. Patterson. Back in 1985, you say yes to your college pal, Ronnie Venable, who has an idea for a holiday movie script, and 40 years later, it's still on TV every Christmas, and you still earn royalties. Like the $3.58 we both earned this year. Life is good. You say, yes, life is short when your first wife dies of cancer, and yes, there is so much more that I want to do while I'm here, so you quit your job in advertising and are blessed with a wonderful soulmate named JJ who agrees to marry you even though you are basically, at the time, unemployed. And you try your hand at writing books. It takes 4 years to get published, but when you finally do, you win an award for the best first mystery. And when someone suggests you should also write books for kids, you say yes to that too. And at every bump, bounce, bobble, and rebound, it would be so much easier to say, no, that would never work. No, I tried that once. No, I can't do that. So I encourage you, embrace your volunteer heritage. Say yes to every opportunity, even the unexpected ones, the ones that weren't on your pre-planned pathway, and see what happens. Because yes, I remember my 7th grade Tennessee state history from Signal Mountain Junior High. I know why we are called the Volunteers. Throughout history, Tennesseans have always said yes, or perhaps more accurately, hell yeah. Tennessee became known as the volunteer state during the War of 1812. That reputation was solidified in the Mexican-American War of 1848 when President James K. Polk of Tennessee issued a call for 2,600 volunteers, and 30,000 Tennesseans answered. Y'all need help in Texas? We'll go. Just don't wear the same color orange we like. Y'all should go with that burnt umber like a toaster from the 1970s. Saying yes and is a proud Tennessee tradition. So step boldly into your next chapters. Be a true Vol for life. Don't let no be all you know. Say yes, and you never know where you might end up. Maybe even dressed in a funny robe with a floppy hat, talking to a glorious group, ready to storm out of here, ignoring the naysayers so they can make a positive impact on the future. Thank you. Good luck. Say yes as often as you can, and go Big Orange, the real orange, not that Texas stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, for those inspiring remarks, your dedication to this college. How about another round of applause for New York Times best-selling author and CCI alum Chris Gravenstein. Today, we are pleased to recognize each of our graduates individually. I ask that you respect the families and friends of all graduates so that each can hear the name of their graduate as it is called. Chancellor Dundee Plowman will join me on the lower platform to congratulate the graduates. Once you've crossed the stage and had your photo taken, please return to your seats. The official degree conferral will take place once all names have been called.
The Tickle College of Engineering, graduating with a degree in Industrial and Systems Engineering, Preston Walter Ruth. Now it is our pleasure to recognize the 2024 graduates of the College of Communication and Information. Samuel Blake Ebensberger. Peter Mark Iacono. Cameron Rose Pace. Catherine Yancey. Madeline Claire Russo. Eric Jonathan Thurza. Catherine Elizabeth Kirk. Claire K. McGee. Margaret Peyton Farrington. Elizabeth Grace Kilpatrick. Madison Margaret Hollister. Brian Joseph Cross. Tanner Cole Johnson. Chloe Elise Levering. Riley Lily West. Omari Thomas. Tyler Patrick Barron. Dominic Robert Bailey. Carly Rose Scopetta. Sterling Ramon Malosin. George Paul Comet. Navy Heath Schuler. Adam Margolis. Cody L. Duncan. Nick Mackle. Maxwell Thomas Galpin. Mason Ryan McDaniel. Austin Jacob Jones. Blake Alexandria Buys. Hannah Marie Gentry. Alexander Reeser Jones. Margaret Catherine Dost. Taylor Shea Malloy. Natalie Elizabeth Lancaster. Braden Scott Crevosh. Catherine Delaney Fultz. Grayson Thomas Hubbock. Hannah Elizabeth Hubbock. John Bartlett DeWald. Miles Laufenberg Cook. Mary Helen Wyrich. Catherine Grace Wilhite. Spencer Asbury Von Cannon, Shade Epps Webb, Caleb Matthew Ellis, Dominic C. Guaginti, Bilal Kamka, Donald Mario Hodge Jr., Caleb LaRon Colvin, Taja Brooks, Molly Kate Duncan, Caitlin Mariah Gill, Ashlyn Monet Green, Brighton Ragaman, Caroline Elizabeth Etherly, Ellie Grace Watchus Sims, Nicolette Rose Molesky, Kennedy Faye Ford, Allison Michelle Seltz, Elizabeth M. Nadeau, Isabella Eve Gattis, Cameron Elise Kinzer, Morgan Elizabeth Green, Susan Spalding Brooks, Carly Jane Gold, Eliza Watkins Crockett, Skylar Hacker, Cecilia Catherine DeMeglio, Lauren Mercer Foley, Ella Dillard, Judith Hope Godsey, Alyssa Nicole James, Morgan Rose McNamara, Jayla Brianne Price, Joshua Braylon Holder, Angelina Gonzalez, Abby Elizabeth Candler, Meredith Ann Adler, Maggie Gail O'Brien, Eleanor Chamness Hill, Matthew Bryson Dingus, Brady Aaron Edwards, Caroline Elizabeth Sweat, Lily Ann Virginia Stoppelbein, Wen Chao Guo, John Kim, Rachel Elizabeth Collins, Isabella Maria Hoffman, Madison Ray Fields, Mackenzie Ray Claiborne, Mary Everett Hurst, Morgan Christopher Carey, Ricky Hunn, Michaela Danielle Bruton, Tabitha Faye Pugh, Elizabeth Neely Grisham, Skylar Gabrielle Mackenzie Brown, McKinley Reese Calandrino. Ashley Nicole Rodas. Joshua Alexander Johnson. Catherine Elise Dinges. Griffin Marie Butler. John Gray Clark. Adam Michael Curley. Blakely William Bittman. Cole Wesley Bundren. Kyra Faith Manis. Megan Martin. Brooke Cooney. Madison Page Blair. Harley Sky Boyat. George Monroe Davis Stewart. Hunter James Bedwell. Philippa Jane Byrne. Brighton Matthew Caleb McCann. Cameron Lynn Eckler. Ashlyn Nicole King. Caleb S. Causey. Jack R. Carpenter. Nathan Thomas Smith. Gare Thor Mitzkog. Emily Annette Evans. Taylor Nicole Izzo. Epiphany G. Stooksbury. Allie Brady. Kylie Jean Campbell. Katie Capri Goss. Savannah Alexis Joaquin. Faith Upindo Matabo. Elena Christine Anderson. Kayla Nicole Husdovic. Rachel Lynn Kilpatrick. Madison Dawn Chodak. Brielle Lauren Davis. Sydney Faith Kearns. Thomas Joseph Cusack, Jr. Nolan Cruz Ornelas. Wesley C. Barber. Joshua Harris. Erin Marie Murphy. Ashley Faith Cowart. Sophia E. Silvestri. Sophia Grace Featherstone. Isabella H. Mangano. Josie Lee Brooker. Zoe Wells Pilkey. Margaret Elizabeth Finnegan. Catherine Grace Schieber. Annika Grace Schultz. Alexandra Marie Kane. Caroline Grace Coffey. Emma Catherine Coffey. Riya Prakash Patel. Riley Grace Sisk. Alexandra Grace Newman. Morgan Rebecca Erdman. Samantha Jo Becker. Presley J. Bolton. Emily Kate Helton. Erin Marie Herbers. Kayla Brooke Hodel. Bryson Lee Ritchie. Summer Elizabeth Bryant. Isabella Sue Gregg. Lachey Sherelle Hooper. Emma Lorraine Kavanaugh. Thomas Clay King. Abigail Elizabeth Boyd. Caitlin Nicole Hedrick. Daniel Owen Doherty. Lindsay Elizabeth Duncan. Isabel Amber Kroll. Jack Spencer Dees. Adam Charles Delahousie. Alexandra Jean Cave. Eric Walton Bachman. Kirsten Nicole Funk. Logan Douglas Korn. Mallory Jasper. Kylie Nicole Graves. Mackenzie Bishop Cons. Mitchell Jacob Ferguson. Rachel Elizabeth Bruce. Caleb Henderson. Aaliyah Renee Hammondtree. Corey Purcell. Olivia Rose Dortu. Eileen G. Lopez. Jocelyn Mota Guadarrama. Chelsea Husey Chan. Bridget Ann Chapman. Ella Goldberg. Michaela Brianna England. Paige Johnson. Josie Christina Drumright. Emma Poling. Madison Brooke Sartain. Olivia Grace Haley. Benjamin Thomas Lewis. Stephanie Aiden Jordan. Riley E. McCormick. Samantha Jordan Grabner. Caleb Hall. Brandon Alexander Goggins. Michael Keith Bradley Jr. Candace Emily Hahn. Farah Tarek Abu Lugad. Ian F. Greenfield, Xavion Omari Garrett, Jacob Sean Fields, Vanessa Nariel Jett, Helen Redith Hughes, Mia Grace Campanini, Sophia Elizabeth Kelly, Sierra Elena Hellmans, Jacqueline Reese Dremel, Logan Zukas, Christina Tron Vetvong, Amanda Brooke Sellers, Gustavo Kenichi Yonemoto, Bergen Davin Toth, Kylie Elizabeth Crane, Nicole Ashley Marker, Caroline Kathleen Mueller, Margaret Eleanor Milliken, Kelsey Tolchin, Sophia Catherine Volupus, Sophia Renee Luna, Ashlyn Ann Lally, Elijah Jackson Lloyd, Sawyer T. Smith, Sarah Danielle Yao, Claire Elizabeth LaFranchi, Lily Burke Stevens, Joseph Michael Miller, Frank Hardy Lewis, Ethan Lowell Ripperton, Coleman Clark Minnis, Colton James Pennington, Frances Eve Siders, Grant Stradley, Grace Emily Powell, Brody Sparks, Madison Elise Richardson, Amari S. Mills, Caitlin M. Ray, Sierra Lynn Lambert, Abby Marie Newton, Benjamin Aaron Slotnick, Ashley Judd Taylor, Jacqueline Nancy Schaffelbein, Rachel Caroline Smith, Erin Rose McFadden, Mackenzie Morgan Turner, Ainsley Renee Roche, Allison M. McCauley Cook, Derek Spriggs, Damian A. Willis, Tanisha Dawn Luco, Bryden Hattie, Autumn Grace Murphy, Jade Monet Fatou, Colby Robert Bland. Ashley Marie Lynch. Emma Elise Whitehead. Catherine Louise Shorten. Jacob Christian Ward. Hannah Victoria Patton. Emma Caroline Stone. Brett Allen Wood. Gracie T. Shutt. Bailey Elaine Paxson. Michael James Paderta. Joseph Robert Puzino. Carly Dawn Seals. Jade Morgan Mulroney. Maddox Malone. James DeFord Waldrop. Eric Christopher Woods. William Dillon Wheeler. Hannah Marie Sheffy. Rachel Emily Parkinson. Olivia Mae Skifton. Caroline Elizabeth Striplin. Jewel A. Spear. John S. Trainer. Baxley Whitmer. Taylor Mackenzie Thompson. Megan Nicole Hallman. Ella Marie Stewart. Madeline Elizabeth Peters. Iceland Colette Setti. Callie Jo Rona. Abigail Ann Ramsey. Andrew James Owens. Emma Grace Thomas. Holly Sarah Liban. Jacob T. Morlock. Everett Pettigrew. Jason Sim. Elizabeth May Nelms. Caitlin Nicole Peacock. Sophia Louise McHenry. Lauren Rosalie Ward. Caitlin Brett Mulqueen. Matthew Swears. Kevin Christian Thomas. Elizabeth Christine Bolt. Benjamin Daniel Schubert. Lita Helen Lemon. Kaylee A. McGee. Jessica Marta Lash. Claire Louisa Grace Haberly. Taylor Jordan Konopelski. Lily Grace Womack. Erin Dorothy Sass. Robert Fulton Myrick V. Kenley Sanderson, Lucas Vishnauskis, Michael A. Rodriguez, Macy Alexandra Roberts, Perry King McAllen, Daniel Thomas Tilkey, Yvonne Alexandria Ratledge, Caitlin Elise Riley, Abigail Sue Lee Rucker, Taylor Warren, Dawson Gale Wise, Carrie S. Williams, Jesse Rollins, Kaylee A. Weatherford, Eden Parsons, Alexa Marie Belen Melendez, Athena Shea Burnett, Elise H. Bryan, Victor Gabriel Daniel, Winston Tucker Harlan, Jace Chadwick Brown, Jackson Connell, Jacob M. Bizark, Sonia Jenkins, Alfred Thomas Esmond III, Makai Dante Zaire Carter, Ian Patrick Cox, Emily Ellison Corona, Sam Reese Hudson,
How about another loud round of applause for the class of 2024? In just a moment, I have the pleasure of welcoming Chancellor Don D. Plowman to the podium to conduct the official conferral of degrees and conclude today's ceremony. Graduates, you've waited a long time for this day, and I want you to enjoy it. After your degree has been conferred, I hope you'll celebrate and soak in this special moment. Chancellor Plowman often talks about our university's journey from good to great. And as you step out of this arena tonight, I want you to reflect on how you can achieve that same transformation in your own lives. Each of you possesses incredible potential to achieve greatness in everything you do, pushing beyond your comfort zone, setting ambitious goals, and always aiming to be your best self. As you leave this university and venture out into the world, I want to remind you of the importance of the volunteer creed, one that beareth a torch, shadoweth oneself to give light to others. The torch is a powerful symbol of knowledge, enlightenment, truth, and intellectual optimism. The belief that the light of truth overcomes the darkness of ignorance. I'm proud of what the Volunteer Creed represents and equally proud of the countless individuals who embody these ideals in their daily lives as volunteers. And graduates, I know you're proud too. You should be incredibly proud of what you've accomplished, especially when you started your journey at UT during a global pandemic. So moving from good to great. Remember that greatness, true greatness, extends beyond your personal accomplishments. being willing to go out of your way to help others, make a positive difference in the lives of those around you. It also means carrying the torch yourself, lighting the way for others to follow. I encourage you, as you pursue your dreams, to become beacons of inspiration and support to each person you meet. And as you begin this next chapter, let your aspirations drive you, and may your life be a journey from good to great. You walked in today as CCI students. Now you'll exit this ceremony as alumni. Today, your life as a UT graduate begins. Make your life matter, make a difference, make the world a better place. Congratulations again, class of 2024. You did it. Go Vols! In just a moment, I'll welcome Chancellor Plowman to the podium to conduct the official degree conferral. After the conferral, the stage party will recess and our ceremony will be officially concluded. Graduates will exit at the back of the arena floor to receive a gift from the university. Graduates will then exit the building and be directed to the outdoor ramp toward the concourse level to meet with their guests. Guests will not be allowed on the arena floor and are asked to exit the building up the stairs to the concourse level. Now please help me in welcoming to the podium, Chancellor Dondi Plowman.
Okay, we're going to close this out. Graduates, today we celebrate not only the diploma you're receiving, but the education it represents, the knowledge that you've gained, the experiences that have shaped you, and the relationships that have guided you over the last 4 years. You are such a special group. We've all said it. You arrived on Rocky Top in the fall of 2020 at a time of great uncertainty. Unsure how your college experience would unfold. You were wearing masks. You were spaced out. You had no idea that in 2 years we would beat Alabama right here at home. And yep. Some of y'all I saw down on the field too that night, but just saying. But you came with an open mind and an unwavering belief in yourself. You trusted that you were prepared for this moment and that the people around you, both here on campus and at home, would support you all along the way. And you did it. That makes you, in my books, the bravest, the most capable, the most adaptive, the most resilient, the most impossible to discourage set of CCI college graduates we've ever had. Let's hear it for you guys. Graduates, we are all so proud of you. So here we go. We've arrived at that part of the ceremony that I get to confer your degrees and you move your tassel in a minute, acknowledging the transition from student to graduate. This is a special moment for you to celebrate everything that you've accomplished. Degree candidates, will you please stand? Your presence here tonight demonstrates that you have done all of the work, you have completed all the requirements for your degree. So, on behalf of the state of Tennessee and the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degrees for which you have been recommended. Undergraduates, you may now move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, graduates. We're going to close this ceremony like we always do. It's our tradition by singing the alma mater together for your first time as alumni. After the alma mater, at my direction, we'll take a few moments to celebrate and soak in this experience. At that time, you can throw your caps, go find your friends, snap some pictures, and family and friends, let's all cheer as loud as we can. This is the moment to celebrate yourself and all that you've accomplished. Stay standing for the alma mater. Congratulations again to everyone here today, and thank you for celebrating with us, and go Vols. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready for this to be done? All right, we're going to count this down. Join with me. 3, 2, 1. Let's celebrate graduates.